season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line. 56.
Here's McDonald to throw. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on first. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
43-yard line.
McDonald. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback or running back, usually quarterback.
Against him.
A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration, because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
This pass complete to Reynolds. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And now a pause here after the play, because as you can see, slow to get up is Alvin Kamara. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Are you kidding me?
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Come on, guys, dig deep.
An extra point attempt here still to come. And it's good to make it 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
3-yard pickup.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's McDonald. That is caught by Cohen. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now a give, right side. It's Pearson, and able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Gain of 7 makes it 3rd and 4.
Out of the gun, McDonald. And that is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
And you can see, as many of you already know, they have clinched the NFC South. But as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
And that's a good thing for them, because coming out of your division, getting to the playoffs with an opportunity to host to start the playoffs, that's a pretty good way to get things going. Whoever came out of this division, we knew that they were going to be playoff ready, and this team certainly is.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
It's a gain of...
And what a big-time play there. 48 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey
In the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. He wants Reynolds way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
He's going to try and go deep again. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Wilson's pass complete to number 40. Touchdown, London.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time.
Points, 14. Bears, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
1st and 10 at their own 7.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 15-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Bears nothing.
To throw on 2nd down. McDonald, he's going to look deep. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown. Chicago. Darnell Mooney. 85 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50.
They are
still
not
going
ready for
inside
us.
the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
1st and 10. At their own 18-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McDonald. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw on 2nd down, McDonald, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On second down, it's Pearson. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
And this is caught at the 20.
Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Given back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running.
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field. The extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
Paid for this.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit during the season.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. From the gun, McDonald. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, McDonald. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Mike Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears cut into that lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Off the option. That's complete. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Again, Wilson flushed out right. And it's caught. Touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
Here's Cohen now to return.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A final shot before break. McDonald.
He'll fire one downfield for Fant.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided and abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
London.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
And that's caught inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
The dynamic duo is doing damage on this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
Now Wilson on first down. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And 4 yards to go.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
To throw again is Wilson. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Wilson will throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. 13 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Here's Cohen now to return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
At their own 32-yard.
London about set to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the air.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And how might this affect them for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. And that will be incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. London about set to take over on offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. And he wants Reynolds.
And this is caught. And he will take it in for the touchdown.
There you go. Touchdown.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10. At their own 19.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Under pressure, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, McDonald. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
London about set to take over on offense.
They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And this is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3 straight incompletions. They don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Well, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Back now at Soldier Field.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
He's got his tight end fan. 20! Touchdown, Chicago! Noah Fant, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears are in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This will be fielded inside the 5. A nice little juke. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Pearson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
To throw on 3rd down, McDonald. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And as a result, possession switches hands.
London about set to take over on offense.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
At the 28.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. From the gun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. And here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
On 1st and 10, McDonald. And his throw here's incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
To throw again, McDonald. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
At their own
London about set to take over on offense.
We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays.
21.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
Play action. It's McDonald.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Do it!
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Cohen now to return.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Cohen on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Caught left side, Williams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. McDonald. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Elsewhere, they're on to the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Steelers have scored yet again, really opening that one up. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL.
It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 29. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson wants to throw it. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.
today. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway.
And this carries into the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
First is Wentz. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Well, just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
Down and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
First down with Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush.
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 3.
From the gun, Wilson flushed out right. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Caught right side. Gresham. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run on first down. It's Terry. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. And give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So possession goes over here on the punt. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Wilson now, operating from the gun. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, running an NFC offensive. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, Eagles nothing.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, and it's caught. Touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
Impressive. The opening drive was. That last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out. And by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Now Wentz.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll find his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
This pass complete, Wentz to Ertz. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays. They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Working from the gun, Wentz.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
This defense is really fooling around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams, and he's in. Touchdown, the Eagles. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overrule the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The they'll take over.
London about set to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That's good for 28 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. And a huge play that time. And even 40 yards.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
On second and goal, Wilson, and it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And that is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because any completions on 1st and 2nd down, now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. You know, when we talk about wide receivers and how you shut them down, what about when you have a tight end like this having a game? How do you stop him defensively?
It really changes what you're trying to do because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts. Okay, how are we going to cover them? The running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker covering, cornerback covering, safety covering him. always has the advantage, usually has final answer against anyone who tries to defend them.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this carries into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Third and long, it's Wilson.
And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
As this old brand remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Wilson in the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He's going to let it go again. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
And he wants Reynolds way down.
And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 39 yards there, a big one. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll roll him out right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver?
And it's caught. Touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll keep it on the ground. Terry. He's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 67 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On second down, it's Terry. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Reagor with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height, even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot. Up 2 scores here in the third quarter.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 24. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull off, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To throw again is Wilson, escaping the and that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz.
He'll fire it deep for Reagor.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
3rd and 10.
From the gun, it's Wentz.
And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defense, risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now is Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
Second and goal at the 1-yard line.
Wentz is going to keep it.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he was unable to make the play himself on second down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on third down?
This likely a must-have, third and goal.
Wentz going to throw. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
They'll take over first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Avonte Madden. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally getting a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Now Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
7 yards, the pickup there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. There the Eagles are back within a score. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, they had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
29-yard line.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Is that penalty wipe out the INT?
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
First down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the gun, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down and goal. Wilson flush to his right. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is out of bounds here. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air. And I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing again here. Wilson. There that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Eagles on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. Wentz now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Wentz again. And
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. John Johnson with the INT. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Oh, this aggressive approach. Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Wilson wants to throw it. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like him? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught right side, Gresham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. And a quick throw here that's complete. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
That'll be caught. Rager with it.
And a loose football. It's going the other way. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown.
Touchdown, London.
The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And he'll be out out of bounds right around the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's fielded at the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
We're going to do what we do.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
First down.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for number 40. Incomplete. It's now second down.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again, Wilson. And he wants Reynolds way downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
It's third down. And 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's incomplete. He's still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,